All right, so a special weekend session. This is part 2 or day 2, and we have a very clear agenda that has emerged based on yesterday. So what we're going to do today, everybody, is finish kickboxing level 1 in its entirety, and I'll kind of verbalize that in about our first 40 minutes. Then we're going to spend a good 40, 50 minutes on some of the phase 2 Filipino martial arts requirements. Now, when I say phase 2, blue belt is an intermediary belt, and then purple belt is purple belt / phase 2. So it's those 2 levels. And then we'll spend at least 20, maybe 30 minutes. I want to end on a block of material that I developed called lens theory, and it'll be kind of informal. I'll just open up a Google Doc and go over this with all of you, but I think it'll be a nice way to cool down and end the session. And again, I'll try to just leave around maybe 20 minutes for lens theory, but that'll be our agenda. And we'll split this up, this recording, into 2 parts. We'll probably take maybe a 3-minute break in between the 2 of those. Like always, everybody, it's a long time period. Everybody here is a grown person. If you need a restroom break or if something happened, just turn your video off. If you need to jump out of the session, I hope everything is okay. But, take care of business and don't worry about it. And should you miss anything, it's all being recorded and uploaded. Okay, so we're going to bow in. We always acknowledge all the different martial arts from the world that influence us regardless of what we're studying at any given time. Chinese, Filipino, Thai, Indonesian, French and Dog Brothers, Japanese. All right, and I don't want to work cold, so we're going to have a light warm-up because we are going to start with savate kicking, and I'll talk a little bit more about warming up in a little bit. Let's do big arm circles to the front, backwards. We're going to swing sticks for sure. We're probably going to punch a little bit. We want to warm our shoulders up. Okay, palms out like this, medium-sized circles to the front. Change directions. Good. Palms down, small circles. Change directions. Good. I call these alternating hugs. So let your arms relax. Switch which arm is on top. Now just kind of clear out all that tension in your shoulders that you built up from doing those rotations. This is a nice little sequence. Good time. This is a nice little sequence. It only takes a few moments if you're going to swing sticks, if you're going to punch. Depending on, well, many things, you start to maybe get a little bit of burn or a little bit of tingle, and all of this starts to activate and get ready to work. So if you're punching or swinging sticks, it's a great investment of like 90 seconds, depending on how long you want to go for. Everybody take your left hand and put it on top of your right hand. Good. Go palm up with your right hand, palm down with your left hand. Obviously, all of these are wrist locks, and we're using them for stretching purposes. So do stretch, but don't injure yourself. Good. And then we're going to put ourselves in the Kotegaishi. Good. All right. Everybody knows this. Yesterday I explained it. Rob was like, oh boy. Very nice. Okay. Good. All right. Take your right hand, put it on top of your left. Okay. Palm up, stretch it out. Good. And then let's put ourselves in the wrist twist. Good. Shake all that tension out of your fingers and out of your wrists. Again, just getting ready to work a little bit here. Okay, the next should only take maybe 90 seconds or 2 minutes. This sequence is from Shuto or shoot wrestling. It's part of the warm-up. You do the warm-up in every single class. And honestly, in studying a lot of martial arts over the years, this is one of the only places that I've ever seen a focus on like really warming up the neck. I mean, I've seen that in some wrestling camps here and there, but not like this. And this is a really fast sequence, and you're doing dynamic and static to get your neck activated. So we're going to look right and look left. Good. We're going to look up and look down. Good. And then we're going to alternate trying to touch our temples to our shoulders. Good. Okay, time. Excellent. Take your right hand, put it on your chin. Take your left hand, put it on your elbow. Push your head back. Do stretch, but don't injure yourselves. Good. Both hands on the back of your head, elbows in, pull your chin to your chest. Good. Take your right hand, pull to the right. Take your left hand, pull to the left. Okay, good. And then let's start to warm our lower bodies up. So feet together, hands on your knees, knee rotations one direction. Go the other direction. Good. Come back up, feet about shoulder width apart, hip rotations one direction. Go the other way. All right, time, very good. Let me move this out of the way. So we're gonna do the same because we're gonna start with kicking straight out the gate, and I'll remind everybody kind of where we're at and what the plans are for the kickboxing curriculum. So lately I pulled the mats up, and I just like working on the hardwood floor right now. That just feels really good, right? Because I've been on the mats for so many weeks. If you don't have the room, or you don't have the right surface, or if anything hurts, stop. It's our usual way of doing business, right? Your health is more important than martial arts. So if something doesn't feel right, abandon it, abandon the rep. Okay, so we're gonna start with this side stretch. So your left leg is straight. We're coming down. You can do hands on the floor. You can work hands up, whatever feels right. And this morning, hands on the floor feels good for me. So I'm going to do that. Okay, switch. So right leg straight. Okay, switch again. I'm going to go left toe up, or the leg that's straight, the toe is going up. Switch, right toe up. Okay, good. We're going to go to this sort of side split. I'm going to my left. And I'm going to walk it over to my right. All right, good. And then when you're ready, just slowly have a seat and open up. Okay. We're going to go to our left. Good. We're going to go to our right. Good. We're going to bring our right in, go back to our left. Okay, switch your feet and switch the stretch. Go to your right. Then put the bottoms of your feet together, bring them in, push your knees down with your elbows, and head down. All right, time. And then when you're ready, just make your way back to standing. And, you know, a quick word here real fast. Warming up, warm up, stretching, etc. My first FMA, JKD, C-Lot, Thai boxing, all the things that I study now, instructor is Seafood Guru Bud Thompson, is a full instructor under Guru Inasanto. Weeknight classes at Seafood Buds were 2 hours long. I would say that the warm-up, which was the same warm-up from the Kali Academy in Torrance, Guru Inasanto's first commercial school, the warm-up was probably 40-45 minutes of that, okay, of a 2-hour class. That's awesome. That's one approach. If you're at the Inasanto Academy, Filipino martial arts, if we're being really honest, there really is no warm-up. We bow in, you have double stick. You always start all the classes with double stick. You do some double stick patterns. If you wanted to be really nice, you could say, well, Guru Inasanto always warms us up with double stick. Okay, I think you're being nice. I think he's jumping into curriculum, but you're being nice. And I love Guru, so I understand. If you're in C-Lot, it's an hour-long class. I mean, almost 30 minutes is the ground domain, and that is like a crazy intense warm-up. If you're in Thai boxing, you're shadow Thai boxing for 3 minutes. You're usually doing some ab exercises for a few minutes, and then we're grabbing focus mitts and going into that, the TBA focus mitt drill that you saw yesterday, Rob. And then you're into class. It's challenging and should be set up around what you're working on at any given moment. And then the only other thing about that is sometimes what you're working on is curriculum centric and you want to jump into that. Sometimes, like today, we're going to be working all these different kinds of kicks. I would feel really irresponsible if we started that work cold. But it's like an interesting tightrope to walk based on the students that you're trying to serve. So there, okay, there's my 2 cents. I know I've exited the frame, bear with me. I have my curriculum over here on my desk, and let me just get to where we're going. So yesterday, while I'm just tracking this down, yesterday we finished all the way through level 1, except for Savate of my kickboxing curriculum, okay? And a word on that, there we go, in just a second. Okay, so the World Thai Boxing Association for about 5 years changed leadership for a couple of times. It's always been Ajahn Chai, but he had a couple different like second in commands. And for a few years there, it was a little uncertain where the organization was going. So around 2017, I just wrote a blended kickboxing curriculum. All right, and it's Thai boxing, Savate, Western boxing, a little bit of Jun Fan kickboxing. And like I was saying yesterday, this was not my attempt to be like poor man CSW, which is the blended kickboxing program with Eric Paulson. I had so many different things I was trying to teach. I thought I could wrap up all those arts in one progression. So yesterday we got through boxing, Thai boxing, and we didn't get to Savate. So I want to get to Savate today. So unless you're left-handed, everybody's going to be in a right lead. I'm so sorry, left lead, please, excuse me. And I want you to play with your rocker shuffle. This is light on your feet, bouncing. Okay, you can, if you have space, you can move around your space. Just experience that for 20, 30 seconds. This is kind of the modality. This is the footwork. They're super light on their feet. They box with their feet. Okay, time. Good, good, good. That's the rocker shuffle. That is definitely something that's worth, put 30 seconds on a clock, do it every now and then. I'm not doing enough of that right now. I like to be honest and transparent. It's good, okay? It's that kind of contrasts with the slow, methodical, I'm stalking you sort of feel of the Thai boxing stance. But again, we're studying multiple martial arts, trying to get a sense of how they all work. So that's the rocker shuffle. And I was saying yesterday, and I don't want to talk too long, there's 2 main people in the United States, usually when people think of Savate. It's Professor Salem S. Lee, Professor Nicholas Signac, for the most part. There's others, but really a lot of people think about them. Both of those gentlemen have ties to the Inosanto lineage. I'm certified as a yellow glove under Professor Nick. And they're both excellent, though. I have a lot of training under Professor Salem as well. They're both fantastic. I encourage you to check them out. And if you want more information, we can do that. Professor Nick, though, is, Professor Salem is more of a martial academic, like he's an instructor under Guru Inosanto, Ajahn Chai, and so on. Professor Nick is a straight, just Savate fighter. He was like a lightweight world champion, and now he teaches. Professor Nick keeps that, it's all rocker shuffle all the time. Like, that's his energy forever, whenever you move with him. And that's just something to be aware of. So we're going to go through all the kicks. Some of these kicks we explore in the JKD. A lot of them are going to be new, though. So, and one other thing, and then we're going to train. My French pronunciation is abysmal. Okay, I took German in high school. To me, everything is phonetic. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the French people or the French language. It's really bad. Okay, so I'll fake my way like I have a the good pronunciation, but I really don't, okay? Fouette median to start. Lead leg, roundhouse kick to the midline. And so let's start with that and play with that. We have two modalities, the same ones that we have, well, especially for the lead. Let me stick with the lead, I'm sorry, and then we'll get to the rear. Lean back and throw it. Just lean back. No telegraphing. No, here I'm going to do it wrong. No stepping and kicking. Just lean back and let it fly, okay? And I'll talk about these. I'm not going to like count you off reps or anything like that. I'll let you experiment with all these on your own time. Be aware, savate is a shoe art. It looks like most everybody's barefoot right now, which is fine. I am too, and I'm teaching the class. It's okay. Savate is really supposed to be done with a shoe or a boot because they like to kick with the tip of that shoe. Okay, that's that. When I talk about whip kicking versus baseball bat style kicking, that's what I'm talking about. That even the tip of your sneaker, you imagine that there's that tap like on the kidney or somewhere like that. That's the danger of savate. Okay, and you know me by now. I'm always going to promote the benefits of all the martial arts that I'm involved with. I'm not interested in any kind of which one is best, because my answer is always going to be, well, what's the context? If you've tenderized somebody and they can barely move, I mean, move in with your Thai boxing kick and hit them with in the outer thigh again, and the fight is over. If it's some scary person and you don't want to close with them, long range kicking, like in savate, is the way to go. I can't tell you which one is best because the context dictates what the answer is going to be. Okay. Anyway, so fouette median, and you're going to re-chamber. We're all of these kicks. Okay. I don't want to generalize. It's a French art. It's a little fancy. Okay. I mean, kind of like their food and their fashion. They take pride in what they do. So it's a little showy. It's a little fancy. So all the kicks in savate, you're going to re-chamber. So you have just lean back and throw. You can also play with pendulum, which we've looked at in JKD, right? So we have slide step in JKD. Pendulum is slide kick, right? And you're going to re-chamber. And I'm exaggerating the amount of time that I would hold that chamber just to try to make sure you understand. Meaning you're not gonna throw and just drop your foot. That's not savate. You're gonna throw, re-chamber, and then purposely set your foot down. Even if you're only throwing one kick, because they want the option of throwing multiple kicks if they choose to. Okay, so you have lean back and throw. You have pendulum. For the rear, I want you to kick, re-chamber, and swing it back to the rear. This is a roundhouse kick to the midline, fouette median. So you lead with the lean back and throw, lead with the pendulum, rear, being careful to chamber it and return back to your left lead. Okay, so take a moment, however many reps, at whatever elevation. I'm not going to call, I'm going to show you and let you play. Good, for just a few seconds. Good. Nice. Good, okay. And if you want to continue moving as I'm talking, beautiful, but I want to get everything in that I want to get in this morning. So I'm going to verbally move on here. So take note of different things. I have more flexibility with my left leg. So my high kicks I like to do with my left leg because I have more flexibility. My power leg is my right leg though. Like when I want to end a fight, I'm going to come in and kick you with my right leg. And it's okay. Be honest with yourself. Some of these kicks, you're going to like them more on a particular side. Right? It's, oh, that feels really good with my left. Ooh, that feels terrible with my right. Okay? Like later, I have to show you a kick that it's not my favorite kick. I love it on my left because I have the flexibility. Not so much a fan on my right. I don't know that I would throw it, but I'm going to teach it to you because you have to go through the same thing and categorize what do I like, what do I not like, what do I like on my right, what do I like on my left, and so on. Okay, so it's very important to be honest with yourself. So that's the flete or the roundhouse kick. So now we're going to move to the chasse or the chasse lateral. And again, please, if you know French, please forgive me. Okay, I'm just going to say it kind of phonetically. Chasse lateral, which is our side kick. Two ways to do our side kick. Chamber, throw, rechamber, and replace. And it's the same thing with our rear. Chamber, throw, rechamber, and replace. So everybody try that. And you have to have control of your kick. So that rechamber needs to be there. And again, I'm purposely holding my rechamber just a little bit long so that you can all see it. Even if it's that. Chamber, throw, rechamber. That's fine. Elevation-wise, do what you can do. Do what you can do. Okay, I took Taekwondo from 11 to 14. I can't kick like that anymore. I was really good. I'm 42. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good for 42, but I can't do that, not that way anymore. Do what you can do. Not a problem. Okay, so this is chasse lateral side kick, and this is with a chamber to throw. So you want to have that kick in the lead and the rear. You at least want to experiment with it. And if any of these need to be low line, well, that's just fine. Don't worry about it. The next is the swing. And the swing, again, honesty and transparency. For me, I really like the swing on my lead leg. I really don't like the swing on my rear leg. But I'll show you both because you might excel in the right side. My leg is going to swing. If I'm imagining a clock, my left leg is at 6 o'clock. It's going to come up to about 3, and it's going to extend back down to 6. So swing and throw, and I have to rechamber because it's savate. And why do I like that? Because you could be moving around and cover a lot of ground. And to the uninitiated, they don't know what you're doing. So again, this is just a swing into your chasse lateral. Keep your hands up, even if, like, I'm staying kind of wide with my hands, but my hands are up. They do me good there. They don't do me good at my at my waist. Play with, I just told you I don't like it. It doesn't feel as good. Probably means I need to spend more time on it. Play with both sides. The rear, it's going to swing up to like 9 o'clock, and then you're going to shoot it and go. There's a little hop there when you go to throw that. Good. Okay, good. So these are variations on your side kick. chasse lateral, everybody, with the chamber and rechamber and with the swing. Okay. Next kick, frontal chasse. So if you know how to teep from Thai boxing, it's a teep with a rechamber. Yeah, so that was it, Karen, right? So it pushes and rechambers. Pushes and rechambers. The only difference, the Thais are going to throw it and drop. They're not interested in the rechamber. They just want to take you out. Okay? Which one is right? They're both right. It's two different perspectives. Okay? French, it's got a rearm, right? You might want to throw frontal chasse to lateral chasse. So you have to always rearm. Play with that for just a moment. Both leads, or both sides, I'm sorry, both sides, maintaining a left lead. So that's frontal chasse. The side kick was chasse lateral. Side kick. Okay. So we're going to have reverse frontal. So this is outward crescent kick. Outward crescent kick. Where I like to, when I work it, I like to work my rotation with my shoulders to get that kick moving. Body rotation, not just your leg. And whatever elevation seems to work for you right now. I'm not insulting, anybody when I say that. If it needs to be here, it's here. Better to move, better to do movement, martial arts movement, than to like stay in bed and throw the covers over your head. Oh, I can't kick high anymore. Okay, kick low. Just kick. Okay, reverse frontal. Outward crescent kick. You're hitting with the side of your foot. Once again, I shared with all of you, I have better flexibility in my lead leg. This is one of my favorite kicks to put up at somebody's face because I'm short and usually most people are surprised that I can reach their face. But I probably wouldn't throw that with my rear leg if that's my goal, to throw it on the high line. Good. Okay. So reverse lateral. Heel hook kick versus I'm hitting with the side of my foot in the previous one. Now my foot comes up and I hook down. Okay. As I told you, this is not my favorite kick, but I will teach it because it might fit you. And I much prefer this on my lead than my rear, which probably means I need to spend more time on my rear to try to make that more comfortable. That's it. So instead of hitting with the side of your foot, you're bringing your foot up and hooking down, downward diagonal with that heel for this kick. Okay, so reverse lateral. Good. All right. When I put my curriculum together, I really scoured sources looking for the French name of this, and I couldn't find it. Just couldn't. And I really, really looked and looked. Inverted front kick. Inverted front kick. Okay, turn that to the side. So we all know how to front kick. It's there. Turn it. Turn it. It sneaks in from the side. Because remember, this is a shoe art. You're hitting with your toes, trying to do as much damage as possible. But it's an awkward angle, I'm not going to lie. It sneaks in from the side, sneaks in from the side. So, yeah, that's it. And if anybody has a savate background, or you ever train savate and they tell you the French name of this kick, please tell me. I will never take offense when people supply me with information that I couldn't find myself. Okay, good. So that's your inverted front kick. It's a nasty kick in the sense that it's an ugly kick. So very often ugly is misperceived as not effective. But even if you think about if somebody's in a right lead and I sneak that in and that's groin with the tip of my shoe, or from a left lead, that's, I mean, who cares if it's ugly? That's a groin shot. And remember, savate is supposed to be done wearing shoes. Even as a ring sport, they wear ring shoes. And again, I know most of us are working barefoot today. It's not a problem, especially with us kicking the air. But just be aware, if it's not too embarrassing or inconvenient, the next time you're walking around with sneakers on, try some of these kicks wearing your sneakers and get a sense of what they might look like. And then if you own any kind of steel tip shoe or anything like that, I mean, and again, don't worry about elevation. If it's not, you're not, you know, if you can, try these kicks when wearing footwear. It changes things. All right, and then our last kick, which is good because we're right on time, is coup de bas, or the oblique kick. So the lead is a little awkward. The rear is very natural. And if you imagine that you were just standing and I just blasted your shin with that, right? Especially wearing footwear. And the way I always break it down is, imagine there's a puddle of water on the ground and that you wanted for the rear to use the blade of your foot to sweep that water up at somebody's face. You're going to keep your legs straight, boom, and just blast the shin. This is another ugly kick, but we've all probably had that experience of, like, you get up at night, maybe to use the restroom or get a drink of water, and you bang your shin, and it hurts like crazy for a while. All right, so even though it's an ugly kick, it still can hurt. Now the lead, you have to lean. You have to lean your body to the left and just let that fire. And I'm sorry again that this shot is split. Rear, I just stay here, right? That's just swinging. That's the rear oblique. Lead, I just lean here. Because again, my goal is just to, boom, hit your shin with the blade or the inside of my foot. So with the lead, I'm trying to avoid telegraphing, right? I don't want to, well, it's hard for me to do exaggerated. Like, I don't want some weird step. Oh, I guess that was pretty bad. So that was a good example. I don't want some weird, like, stepping. I just want to be here, boom, and lean, and let that kick explode into the person's shin. Okay, so not only because I want to stick to the schedule that I had in mind, but for the sake of the video, which this will, if I uploaded yesterday's already, hopefully I can get today's on YouTube as well. So for anybody watching, we have a boxing section. We covered all of that yesterday. We have a Thai boxing section. We covered all of that yesterday. The savate section is what we just did right now. And then we have a section called performance, 60-second boxing round, light contact, 60-second savate, just light kicks and punches, but it's got to be all savate kicks. and then 60-second of Thai flow drills. Sometimes in Thai boxing, you'll hear Len Chun flow drills. All that means, and forgive me everybody, I don't really have anybody in my household that can help me today. I've been beating up my chair a lot lately. If I'm A and the chair is a real person, I'm not delusional, and partner B, if it's 3 beats, I get 1, 2, 3, and that person's gonna maybe cover, parry, tight cover, and then that partner B would get 3 beats. Maybe partner B teeps, jab, cross, right? So I try to maybe scoop, catch, and parry. And we're not trying to take each other's heads off. We get 3 beats, we keep a steady rhythm, and that's it. And I mean, everybody who's on this in the class today is a high-level martial artist. It's 3 60-second rounds. It's not meant to make anybody have any kind of a breakdown. It's not meant to be too stressful. After going through curriculum, there's just some light performance rounds, and to kind of bottle this, everything is through the lens of martial athletics. So when I say martial athletics, all I mean is that there are rules, right? Savate is a sport. Thai boxing is a sport. Western boxing is a sport. I love all 3 of those martial arts. Sport is not necessarily a dirty word, but you know, if we're talking about Olympic boxing, like I was saying yesterday, if you throw a hammer fist, you're going to get probably disqualified. That's an illegal maneuver, right? If you knee in savate purposefully, that is illegal in savate. That's all I mean by martial athletics. Okay, so for which there are several of you, for the people who are online martial arts learning community members, we did film level 1 of the kickboxing a long time ago. I just never uploaded it, and I probably should just do that as another offering if people want this. Please just know I never finished writing this curriculum. I certainly should. I wrote 3 levels. I don't really know how many levels I was intending, but that's kind of where we're at with kickboxing. And, you know, once again, I was not trying to replicate CSW from Eric Paulson. I was dealing with the problem of having more curriculum that I could be teaching than time to teach it. And I just thought this, rather than having like a Thai boxing class and program, a savate class and program, a Western boxing class and program, I just thought I could put everything together. So if you're a member, if you want that curriculum, like send me a message and let me know, and I can always add it in the portal for online martial arts learning community members. Okay. And I'm only 1 minute over time. So let's grab a single stick. We're going to move into, as requested, phase 2 FMA. And I did give it a once over. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Super quick story. We did a little bit of cleaning. Well, I shouldn't say that. We did a ton of cleaning over the past few days here, and I found this under the bed. I think this is the first Eskrima stick I ever owned. I believe I've had this since I was 19. So anyways, looking through blue belt, which is an intermediary, and purple belt, which is phase 2, wrapping up phase 2. There are 2 numbering systems. We're going to start with those. I really did try to isolate the things that I think I can teach you through the technology. Some of this, like knife, unless it's double knife Sagitas, some of this is just hard. And we can certainly look at it like hard to do through the tech. And let me just say this, and then we'll actually train. I'm having dialogue all the time with my members, like, what can we actually do? And let me say this on video explicitly. I don't want to like give anything away. I don't want to lower my standards, but I also want to be creative as an instructor. And if you are stuck with no training partner, that's your reality. I don't want you to feel like you're being punished for that. So I'm always trying to come up with different ways that you can show your proficiency, even if you're stuck by yourself. Okay, let's learn the Coste 12-angle numbering system, which as I was looking at it, it's actually in the purple belt, but you're gonna learn it like that because it's very similar to Eskrima 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no change. So you already know, 5/12, almost half. There are two things that are different about Coste. 6 and 7 are switched. 6 is here, 7 is here. Then the only other thing you need to remember about Coste, 8 and 11, instead of hitting the temples, you're going to go vertical down to the clavicle. So 8 is there. So let's go over all that again, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm shortcutting that because there's no change. 6, 7, 8. That would come straight down this line to my right shoulder. 9 and 10 are the same. 11 would come straight down the left clavicle. And 12 is exactly the same. So the only thing you need to remember, two things, switch 6 and 7 and 8 and 11, because this is normally our 8 to the right temple. Now 8 is straight down to the right clavicle. 11 is normally, you're right, 11 is normally forehand and then we stop to the left temple and then we arm 12 normally. Now 11, you just come straight down, which sets up your 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and so I was discussing this recently with somebody. You will get 6 or 7 different 12-angle numbering systems going through the whole curriculum. How am I going to remember all that? Eskrima 1 is your foundation, and you can always just mentally, like when I show you Regino Illustrissimo in a moment, you're going to have a lot of things in Eskrima 1 that are going to help you remember that. So Coste, see how easy this is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no change. Remember to switch 6 and 7. Remember to come straight down for 8, 9, and 10 are the same, straight down for 11, and then 12 is the same. And you have a whole other 12-angle numbering system there that you picked up like that. Okay, so one more time. You know what? Let me change my screen. Could we do something, please? If for everybody whose video is turned on, could you just stay with my count? That way all the screens are synced up and it'll look super cool. And then that way I know you know it as well. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure your palm up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Beautiful. Fantastic. Okay, I'm not oversimplifying things. That's Regino Illustrissimo. I'm so sorry. That is Coste. That is the Coste numbering system. Okay, so Regino Illustrissimo. Here's the key, okay? 2 things, and then we'll just look at it, because if I keep yapping, it's better to just look at it. 2 things. Switch 2 and 4. So that almost gives you half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here, this one, honestly, it doesn't matter if you're palm up on Illustrissimo, because Illustrissimo is really supposed to be a sword. You almost have half. Almost, right? diagonal, horizontal, horizontal, diagonal thrust. Okay. Here's the thing that's going to help you. Regino Illustrissimo, that's this numbering system, and I'll give you a little historical background in a moment. Regino Illustrissimo alternates forehand, backhand for all 12 angles. Now, if you think about it, Eskrima 1 does not. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Forehand, backhand, forehand, backhand, forehand, forehand, backhand, backhand, and so on. Regino Illustrissimo, forehand, backhand for 12. So here's how I remember it. Everybody stay with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now freeze. This is a forehand. Now you do 2 uppercuts. But since I'm on my forehand side, that means that I go 6, 7. This was a forehand. Now I do 2 thrusts. 8, 9, and 9 you have to remember to close. 1 outlier redondo, and that was the backhand. Open. Low, like a low angle 1. This is a really neglected angle in the Filipino martial arts. I'm going right to your knees, low forehand, and 12. That's it. Okay, so I'll review it. I see your face, Rob. Don't worry. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That helps us get to 5, right? This is a forehand. So 2 uppercuts, 6, 7, 2 thrusts, 8, 9, and just remember 9 closes. 1 outlier redondo for 10, and then open 11, 12. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 1 to 5. We just switched 2 and 4. This was a forehand, so 2 uppercuts starting with the backhand side. This was a forehand, 2 thrusts, and I just remember that the second thrust closes. 1 redondo, which is by itself, and then I open 11, 12. Okay, so one more time, all 12 angles, we'll do it. Go ahead, guys, come on. Okay. Sorry, everybody. You guys are fine. Okay, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so as it's been explained to me, there were 5 Illustrissimo brothers, and Tatang, or the founder of Kali Illustrissimo, Kalis Illustrissimo, was not one of the 5 brothers. I believe Regino he's either the oldest or the youngest, sorry, but in Asanto, the lineage, we are the only people. I asked Guru Dan once because there's a real through line of Regino Illustrissimo material in my curriculum, and there has been at the Inasanto Academy for years. I asked Guru Dan once, you know, Guru, and we're talking about Stockton, California, right? It's like Mecca for Filipino Americans in the United States. And that's Guru Inasanto's hometown. I said, who else carries on the teachings of Regino Illustrissimo? And Guru Dan like thought, and then he's like, us. So I really like anytime you're all seeing like close it, hit, open, hit, that's Regino Illustrissimo, and Flora Villabrea. And Flora Villabrea was a relative of the 5 Illustrissimo brothers, as was Antonio or Tatang Illustrissimo, the founder of Kali or Kalis Illustrissimo. There's some really cool including if I didn't, we might be ready to go on to double versus double stick abecedario, which also comes out of this family of drills, which is some cool stuff. Okay, but anyways, that's Regino Illustrissimo. Now we're going to, you know what, actually, I'm going to split this. We're not going to stop. I'm going to split this recording up, everybody, so Zoom doesn't freak out when I go to render this. So everybody who's watching this video, please join us for part 2 of today's session in the next video.